Are people still out there? And then people still out there that drink milk. Hey, praise God. A glory. Cracked voice. Glory to God. We got milk in the refrigerator. Let's get into it. I need your love. Can't go on this way. Lonely nights, lonely days, lonely because I need your love. I need your love. I need your love. I need your love. That's Scott McLeon. I need your love. It's a good one to get into it. How's everyone doing? How is everyone doing out there today? Today's Wednesday. Well, it's Wednesday evening. It's the eve of Wednesday. And I had a really good week so far. I performed at The Green on Avalon. That's in Alpharetta, Georgia. And that is Punchline's Comedy on The Green. And Punchline is a comedy club in Atlanta. It's been around for a very long time. People go there. Ray Romano, Don McLeon. There's a lot of really popular, famous people that went there that I am missing right now. But it's a very well-known comedy club. A lot of comedians, they've been there. They've talked about it. And Jamie Bendel, that's the owner of it over there, Jamie Bendel. And he said, hey, why don't you come by, say hello? And I thought, okay, yeah, I want to do that. That'd be great. So I go over there. He's like, I'm putting you up and throwing you into the fire today, Lisa. You better be ready. He didn't say you better be ready, but he said, I'm putting you up. You're going up.
Hello, world.
And man, I just really appreciated that opportunity. Jamie, you couldn't meet a nicer comedian. He's a lawyer, a comedian. He owns the Punchline. And man, there was 5 comedians. There was me, another lady, and her name is also Lisa. Here's the thing. Here's the funny thing. My name is Lisa Marie, and the other comedian, her name was Lisa Marie. So there was 2 Lisa Maries. And then there was a total of 5 of us, and Jamie made sure everyone was paid. He bought people dinner. He opened a tab at a really nice schwanky restaurant, because the Green in Avalon and Alpharetta is between these 2 super really nice restaurants. And so he opened a tab over there, and just really took care of everyone. And I don't know what I was expecting, but I don't know, the comedy community, you kind of feel that maybe it could be maybe a little like the fashion industry, a little cutthroat sometimes, and it shouldn't be. It should be supportive, and man, Jamie, he couldn't have been more supportive. So that was really cool, and we got to riff a little bit. Us, Jamie and the other Lisa and me, and we were kind of riffing a bit, and because the show went on pretty late. People love it out there on that Green, man. There was a really good turnout. People, they go out there, there's chairs, they're getting drinks, they're living the life. Mother Earth is just breathing. They're just breathing on them out there, and the elements just beautiful out there. And we were riffing about if there was a zombie apocalypse, we think about that. I think people think about that a lot in Atlanta because there's the CDC over here. And we just, maybe they're cooking up some things in there that they shouldn't be. And then out comes a zombie crawling out the window. It ate everybody in there, and now it's crawling out to eat all of us. So we think, zombie apocalypse. And I think also like that zombie series. People are screaming at me right now. I don't watch that stuff, man. The zombie series has been around forever. I think all of that was filmed here. And anyway, so, we were kind of riffing. Hey, if there was a zombie apocalypse, what candy would survive? What would last? What would be valuable? What kind of candy would you save, to use to barter? And I'm not going to say what he landed on, or what, we all kind of landed on and what he was thinking about. But hey, if you guys have a thought or an idea of what candy would survive, survive the heat, the cold, the elements, time, it's got to have some good chemicals in there. You know what I mean? To survive too. So if you guys have any ideas, just hit me up in those comments. Drop a comment on what kind of candy you think would survive out there. So that was super fun. And when the other Lisa Marie, she went up before me, and there is a backdrop that is behind the stage. And it was a little windy, and the backdrop, it fell on her. And the backdrop's not heavy at all. It's quite light, and which is a good thing because it fell on her. She didn't even flinch. Not a drop. No flinchy. Just went kind of like, boop, fell on her back, and she just nonchalantly looked around like, oh, what's going on? And made some jokes about it. But gosh, I was just thinking, man, if that thing fell on my back, I would have thought someone jumped up on that stage and grabbed my back. Man, I would have had to turn around, start punching that thing. I would have ended up in someone's lap in the audience. I would have turned around, punched the thing, not know what I was punching, because who knows? You feel something on your back, you think someone jumping on the stage. You don't know what's going on out there, man. We were outside in the elements. People walking around, loafing around. You don't know what's going on. Someone, in my mind, if that thing would have hit me, I would have thought someone coming on my back, turn around, punch the thing, jump off the stage, and then I would have definitely landed into someone's lap. So I was quite amused at how calm Lisa, the other Lisa Marie, was in that situation. It was great. So that was fantastic. Fantastic. Go check that show out, guys, if you're out here. It's great. I think it's posted on the Avalon website when the next shows are, and it's just a fantastic time. What else is going on? Guys, I'm reading a book. Just one book. I have many books around the house. My husband says, please stop buying books. And I just kind of buy books, and then I'll kind of read a little bit of them, put them down, and then go to the next one. No, there's a few books I have finished. Some of them, the Robert Greene books, love those. Those are quite big, and I've finished those. There's a samurai book I bought, finished that. That's a great book. What was it called? The War of Art, or I know you can. Anyway, that's a really good book for creatives, and I'm not getting that title right, so that's not helping you out there. But anyway, that's a good one. This one I'm reading. I never was too much into history. I'm really getting into the history thing now, and this book is called A Leap in the Dark: The Struggle to Create the American Republic by John Ferling. And I'm going to show it to you guys on camera. It's probably going to be backwards. So it's going to be backwards here. And Every generation of Americans deserves a first-class history of the Revolutionary era, and John Ferling has supplied it for this one. That's the Washington Post. And I got to tell you, man, it is wild to think America almost did not happen. America was so fragile, and that's fragile. It was so fragile in the beginning days, in the 1700s, in the George Washington era, Ben Franklin. It just almost didn't happen because just of a series of unfortunate events. But it did happen. Obviously, here's America and there's a free world, but the free world almost really didn't happen, man. And also, we're going down. I'm always interested in the financials, who funded. There was someone who had to fund the Constitution. There was someone who had to fund all of this. And that almost didn't happen. A quarter of an inch on the timeline. You got these time waves going. And if the timeline was just moved or even just like a centimeter over, it wouldn't have happened. Just, back in the 1700s, anything could happen. So because anything could happen, it almost didn't happen. And that's the whole, it is just wild to think, and I'm only in the beginning of this book, but it's wild to think, we came here, and then the British were like, hey, that's our land. I can't do a British accent. That's our land. That's a Southern accent. Oh, Lordy. Yeah, they're like, that's our land now, and you have to follow our rules. Would you like some kippers? You have to follow our rules. And, they're like, have some porridge and tea, and we're going to tax you out the earth. They had that Stamp Act, and that made everybody really mad. Because the British, they're just like, hey, that land, that's our land, man. We're gonna tax you out the arse, and then we're gonna take that tax money and fund our debts over here. For the frick you are. The frick you are, man. What do they think? Who do they think they are? Hey, first of all, I'm pretty sure the Spanish, they're the first ones who discovered America. I'm taking it back to Ponce de Leon. And I don't know a lot about that, but you got Ponce de Leon, and there's a lot of discoverers out. Discoverers, is that we frontiers people? Ponce de Leon. You had Magellan. I know Magellan. I think he was Italian. He was like rolling around out there in the seas. Columbus. I'm pretty sure Columbus. I think the Spanish funded Columbus, right? Is that anyway? Going back to Ponce de Leon. And there's a Ponce de Leon bridge over there in Florida, and that in St. Augustine, the oldest city in America. I do believe that's what they call that over there. And gosh, that's the Spanish. They discovered it. And let me tell you something. The Spanish were like, we're going to tax you out the earth, just pay our debts. If you ask Grok, hey, what's going to be the majority in America in like 20, 30 years, all right? Well, guess who that is? The Spanish, man. They're going to save our arse. They are going to save the free world. They're going to keep it going, man. They're going to keep it going. That's right. The Spanish. You got family values, you got faith values, you got respect for each other. That's beautiful. That all of those values and morals, those are very close to the Italians, to the French. It's very, very close to those cultures as well, man. So that's, the Spanish, they're going to be the majority. And, who's going to be president? And Grok says a Spanish president. Let's freaking go, man. They don't take shite. They don't take any shite. They're not freaking weaklings. They don't let anyone bulldog. They don't pander. You see Spanish people pandering? No, they're tough cookies, man. They're super tough cookies. And I'm excited about that. My sister-in-law, she did some research on our family. And that's my dad's side, the French side. And if I'm recalling this right, and sorry, sister-in-law, if I'm not, but I'm pretty sure I am. We are a little related, if you go back enough, to the Spanish. I mean, French, Spanish, they're all like pretty close together over there. And apparently there's a family that we were kind of there from. And it had a lot of daughters in it. And these daughters, they didn't like playing by the rules. And they were shamed in the town square. And I'm not sure what for, but I could imagine it's because they didn't want to wear those freaking pantaloons. They didn't want to wear those skirts, man. They didn't want to be sweating their arses off in the summer. So they went out, they cut their pantaloons. And they went out with their bra, and they're like, this is how it's going to be. And they didn't shave their armpits. And then that's how I imagine it. They're not playing by those rules, man. Those crazy rules back then, the 15, 16 hundos. Get out of here. And that's the lineage I'm from. So, great book. I gotta mention this documentary that my husband and I started watching it with my husband, but then he finished it. And it's called Documentary Now. It's on Netflix, and it's about waste. It's about waste in America and how much stuff there is. And it's all about like these corporate profits, and it's planned obsolescence. It's called, and what that means is like they make it so you have to buy another one. The planned obsolescence is where a corporation, a company makes a thing, but like an iPhone, and I'm not saying this is how iPhones are, but say an iPhone, and they make a thing where you can't repair it. You can't like open the back of it. You can't put a new battery in it. You can't buy a new charger. You got to buy a whole new thing and throw that one out. And that's what's driving all of this waste. And in this documentary, they called out, this fast fashion, Shein. Obviously, everyone knows about that company. And then you have H&M. H&M has a program, apparently, where they say, recycle your clothes. And then come in, get a discount, buy new clothes. And, that makes you feel good. Like, you're going to bring your clothes and they're going to recycle it. And that makes you feel really good, right? All warm and fuzzy inside while you buy your new clothes inside. I saw a skirt and it's super cute, so I'm gonna go buy it. So except that this place, what they did was they put trackers in. Say someone went and recycled an H&M shirt, they put a tracker on it, and these clothes end up in third world countries where the population isn't that big. They're getting more clothes than the population size. The population, what are people who have nothing? What are they going to do with a fancy, skirt from H&M? What are they going to do with a blazer from H&M? Really? That's what they do. They're shipping it over there, and they're like, hey, deal with it. And then they have piles and piles of clothes that aren't being used, just piled up. It's wild, man. There was a guy on this documentary who worked at Adidas, And I think it's Adidas is the company. I mean, he had to quit because of all the waste. There are piles of sneaks in the desert. And it's so huge, this pile, that you can see it from space, from the ISS. Yeah, so it's really wild, and it hurts. It hurts my heart a little bit. And we're going towards a world of Wall-E. And you know where Wall-E, oh my God, I love Wall-E. Wall-E and his little cockroach friend. Wall-E would, he'd roll out of his little spaceship every morning, and he'd go and he'd compact trash into squares, because that's what his job was. That's what he was programmed to do, to go to compact the waste into squares. And then the camera, it would do a wide shot, and then it would go out, zoom out, and you saw just the piles and piles and piles of garbage just up to the freaking planets. And that's what we're going towards, man. So I don't know what to do, man. I mean, as a consumer, you just stop buying stuff. We don't need all this stuff. Why do we need this stuff? You can't take this stuff with you when you leave the planet. What's important in life? Talking with people, having experiences. Being kind to someone, making someone's day brighter and better. And that's why I love doing comedy. I love creating with people, being with people, creating with the audience, like making music back and forth, collaborating with people creatively, comically. I just love all that. And, man, I'm trying to remind myself that's what I need to focus more on, not on, the fall fashion's coming out. What can I get? And it's hard for someone who loves fashion and worked for a fashion designer as an internship. It's like you do want to get new things all the time, but I'm going to scale it back. I'm scaling it back, guys. I'm taking it back. And I think this is an area that maybe the government needs to get into, because that sounds crazy, right? That sounds wild. But the reason why, look, I'm reading this book. I'm taking it back to this book. All right. A Leap in the Dark here, because there is a reason why there's a government to enforce laws that make people safe. That's good for the people. And corporations, they're not going to stop with their planned obsolescence. They're not going to stop. Nothing is making them stop. Why would they stop? It's making them very profitable. So someone needs to step in and force them to stop. And that's what I'm saying. That's my view, man. That's where I'm going with it. Guys, to get onto a lighter topic, I baked a cake this past weekend. I got some wheat from the store. I got a bucket of wheat, and that's soft white wheat. And then you grind it up. I went to my friend's house. She helped me grind that up. She got a machine over there. And then you make the cake. And the thing with grinding the wheat up is then all of the nutrients because as soon as you grind that wheat up, the nutrients start going out of it. I mean, faster than when you down a whole bunch of water and it comes out. Yeah. That's how fast that does that make any sense? I was just trying to think of an analogy. But yeah, that was super fun. And the icing was basically, really good because it's just all fat. It's just butter, egg yolks, and honey, and voila, you have freaking amazing icing. Buttercream honey icing. It was really, really good. I met with a cybersecurity professor at a community college over here. And that was a really interesting conversation. His name is Charles Chapman. And I asked him why he wouldn't, if he would consider the Charlie Chapman mustache. And he was like, oh, and we were joking about, he was a really, really laid back, cool guy and had a ponytail, the beard, I'm like, Charlie Chaplin. And then he started doing a little Charlie Chaplin impression. And I said, oh, yeah, it was great. Oh, it was great. I don't know what I was going to say, but he was interested in hearing about my take on AI encroaching on the IT and cybersecurity world. And I have a general idea of it, but I didn't have like an in-depth idea of it. So I went down my rabbit hole as one does. I jumped down that rabbit, got into the minutia of it. And of course, I start with, the funding. What are the VCs doing out there? Are they funding AI companies that are automating cybersecurity and IT? And it turns out they are. They very much are. It's wild. I was just thinking, this is the first time in history that VCs are putting all of their, not all of it, I'm going to say 70 to 80%. I say all of it, but I'd say 70 to 80% of their funds into one thing. And that one thing is the AI economy. Like, this has never happened before, where a VC would put their entire, almost like 80% of their portfolio into one initiative, one thing. It's just what, like, so much depends on AI at this point and automation. This is just where we're at in the world. And what I'm saying is, I'm even talking about farming. We have a lot of problems. The problem I just talked about with that documentary by now, we have a waste problem. It's a problem, man. There's microplastic rolling around all over in the air. You try to get away from it. What are you going to do? Bring a HEPA filter with you everywhere you go? You got to strap a HEPA filter on your head, man. You got to strap a HEPA filter onto your body. You go outside because there's microplastics all over the freaking air because of all the waste in the world, all over the globe. It's everywhere. You got Sheen clothes just piled up. All that stuff is made from petroleum and plastic. That Lululemon, man, and everything else that is made from plastics. And all of that's just floating around in the air. You cannot avoid it. You can't. No. It's just not going to happen. Not gonna do it. So we're going to need solutions to this. And I know people are like, well, the solution, I get it. I know. But we're going to need we're going to need solutions. That's not the only problem on the planet. We're talking about like farming because the land is being used for trash, apparently. You got farms out there that are government subsidized, and government subsidies, they do not support regenerative farming. So all that land, that topsoil, that's gone. There's a really good documentary. I don't know if it's still available though, but what's his name? Woody Harrelson. He did it. And it's about the erosion of topsoil and regenerative farming. And basically, these government subsidies, they encourage just keep tilling and like kill the topsoil until that's it. Like, it's going to take years and years and years to even grow anything on it again. So, and that's a lot. That's like so much land out there, industrial farming. So we're going to need solutions for food, to grow food. And there's actually a company out there in Arizona that's doing this really cool. It's hydroponic farming, and it's in plastic, but they're growing salads and leafy greens and things like that. And it's in a warehouse, and it's very tall, and you have these robots that they go and then they go down into the tunnel, and then they bring up the plants. And but again, that's all plastic. It is a closed loop water system, which should mitigate mold, but also at the same time, if there's mold, it's going through all that. I mean, that's just I don't know, man. I don't know what the answer is, but we're going to need AIs. We are heavily reliant at this point on AI to solve a lot of the world's problems. And we're talking from medical to farming to the waste problems. So there's just so many of the housing problem, the housing problems, the housing crisis where people can't afford home, like young people can't afford homes, and there's just so many things that are reliant on AI. So VPs are putting 70 to 80% of their portfolios into the AI economy. What I mean by that is I'm talking like the energy we're going to need in order for the AI to work. Here's the thing. When I say AI economy, what I'm saying is the nuclear power plants, small modular reactors, small modular nuclear reactors. We're going to need AI infrastructure. We're going to need AI farms. AI factories. And that's Jensen Hung's term for basically it's not a database, but it's an area that makes tokens. And then also we're going to need databases. You're going to need cooling for that. So, VPs are investing in all of this AI infrastructure, the cooling, the energy, green tech, medical tech, all of this is AI, and AI cannot exist without that stuff. And we need that stuff for AI to exist because we need AI at this point. Just the problems the problems in the world have gotten too big. We need some sort of AGI. We're gonna need something much more intelligent to solve them. Like a Jarvis. We need a Jarvis or a TARS. But probably Jarvis. That's probably because Jarvis is he's supposed to be super, super, super smart. I just say TARS because I'm a little biased. I love TARS. But yeah, so this cybersecurity thing, there's a few companies that are working on it, are automating things. We have Adaptive Security, that's in New York. And this startup is backed by 43 million Series A round, co-led by OpenAI Startup Fund and Andreessen Horowitz. I think that is associated with Mark Andreessen, and everyone out there's like, yeah, it is. Adaptive Security focuses on AI-generated hacks to train employees against social engineering attacks like deepfake phone calls, texts, and emails. So they're working on it. We got CrowdStrike. That's another popular one. That's in Austin, Texas. And they integrate AI into its Falcon platform for endpoint detection and response. That's EDR. Their AI-driven threat intelligence processes billions of events daily to predict and prevent attacks. Hang on, guys. I just want to check my equipment here. We're good on the audio. We're good on the visual. Okay, let's go. Thanks for bearing with me. All right, so we got CrowdStrike. AI cybersecurity funding is projected to grow 12 to 15% annually through 2027, outpacing the broader cybersecurity market's 12.4%. Yeah, I mean, here we go, man. So companies replacing IT with AI. We got ServiceNow, that's in Santa Clara, California. Their Now platform uses AI to automate IT services management. That's ITSM, including incident ticketing and resolution. They've integrated generative AI to predict IT outages, reducing manual oversight. Publicly traded, $150 billion plus market cap. Then you got the UiPath, that's in New York. Specializes in robotic process automation, that's RPA, for IT tasks like patch management and network monitoring. Their AI-driven bots handle repetitive IT processes, freeing staff for strategic roles. Funding publicly traded, $12 billion plus market cap. So you got a lot of companies out there working on that. And I mean, I'm not even mentioning, there's several others. There's more than several others. These are just the popular ones. VC funding surge. AI startups grabbed 64% of US VC dollars in 2025, with $5 billion plus in cybersecurity alone. And again, expect a 12 to 15% annual growth through 2027, driven by regulations and enterprise needs. So that was a really interesting researching all of this. There's a company that I discovered on LinkedIn called XBOW, and that's a OG over there. OG, shout out OG. I love OG, man. I love what he's doing. Shout out OG. OG, you're doing great. Godspeed, sir. Godspeed on your progress. I mean, they're doing some pretty incredible things over there. They are the number one hacker on HackerOne globally. They outsmarted human beings. They're from Seattle, Washington. They have autonomous penetration testing prowess, which, let's see, is only they're super. They've got a lean employee count, 11 to 15 employee team. And man, their autonomous system, XBOW's autonomous system has topped the HackerOne leaderboard, a platform where ethical hackers earn bounties by finding vulnerabilities. Their stats show a solid reputation, signal, and impact, outranking human competitors. Man. They focus on AI-driven offensive security, aligns with the trend discussed. Companies using automation to outpace human hackers. So I was interested in, because there's a lot of open source models, is like, does open sourcing make cybersecurity, does it excel automation in cybersecurity, or does it, there's a lot of bad apples out there. Open sourcing models like those from Hugging Face, and OpenAI, they just did a collab, that's the GPT-OSS. It's throwing fuel on the automation fire in cybersecurity. These models, with their mix of experts, that's MOE, magic and reasoning capabilities, that's adjustable from low to high effort. Let anyone, even the startups, build AI-driven tools to detect threats or launch them. Wah, 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 wah. Dun, dun, dun. The dark side of open sourcing. It's going to be a good side. There's going to be a bad side, folks. That's what's going on here. So malicious actors could whip up a sophisticated attacks like AI-crafted malware, turning cybersecurity into a high-stakes AI duel. But I mean, there's a bright side to it too. Obviously, companies can now fine-tune models locally. No cloud required to sniff out phishing emails or analyze log files. So that's a good thing. Let's see, IT with open sourcing is that, is this also automating IT? Is this accelerating automation for IT, this open sourcing? Let's see. The answer is yes. I'm just going to go there. Okay, moving on. Yeah, so that was interesting. Talking to that professor was really interesting. He was very attuned to what was going on in the world, which I was delighted to hear and delighted to talk to someone about that. Okay, so Brett Adcock, he posted a video of Figure folding laundry. And Brett has been getting trolled about, I think he posted this yesterday, and he was getting trolled online that I think particularly on X, people were saying, oh, your robot can't fold laundry. Where's the video? Show us the video, son. He's getting trolled out there. So he posted the video, and then he posted basically a meme, like mic drop meme. So a great sense of humor there. And he shut those trolls right up, posting that laundry folding robot video. There it is. There it was. There it be. And it's moving on, man. It's moving on. And the whole thing, if for those of you who don't know out there, folding laundry is if your robot can fold laundry, it's getting places. And I don't know if you remember this, but in one of my very first episodes, I said, when robots start folding laundry, you need to pick your head up. You need to take those eyelids to your arse cheeks, baby. Stay awake. Because we got those robots that fold laundry out there. And that means we're getting places, man. It's like, it is the gold standard. It's like, oh, if your robot can fold laundry, it can figure things out, man. You think about all the things that go into folding a piece of laundry. You got to have your robot identify the shape of the piece of laundry, and then it needs to identify, how much force, how much pressure does it use to say it's a t-shirt. Okay, where does it start? What does it do? Does it fold the arm? Does it fold the other? Does it fold up? Does it fold down? Does it just ball it up in a freaking wad and throw it across the room? You think about everything that goes into folding just one piece of laundry, and then go try to make a robot that can do that. Good luck. You got to be Brett Adcock to be doing that. Also, I think T-Bot can do it too. Optimus, so shout out to T-Bot. And here's the thing. The folding laundry. It's become the litmus test. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the word I was looking for. It's the litmus test for a robot. It's been challenging robotics researchers since the early 2010s. So, it's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to do. I'm reading over some of my notes. Sorry, I'm a little quiet here. But handling deformable objects is inherently difficult. Unlike rigid items, clothes are soft, flexible, and can crumble into unpredictable shapes. A robot must perceive the garment's current state, predict how it will behave when manipulated, and apply precise force without tearing or wrinkling it excessively. These test advanced computer vision, tactile sensing, and physics-based planning, skills essential for broader application like healthcare, handling patients' bedding, or manufacturing dealing with fabrics. It requires integrated AI and dexterity. The robot needs to identify the item, like I said, grasp it correctly, figure out how much pressure it's going to use, execute a sequence of movements. There have been early demos. UC Berkeley's 2010 towel folding robot took minutes per item and relied on pre-programmed steps. Modern systems use AI neural networks for faster, more adaptive folding. And we're talking, that figure over there, he's got that in-house AI called Helix. And that's what he's using to figure out how to fold that laundry. That's what he's using. And I'm saying the figure. I'm giving it, a gender, and that's fine. He figure is figuring it out with his in-house AI Helix. And remember, now I talked about this last week. Remember, folks, Helix it's the System 1, System 2 architecture. And just to go back to that for a minute, because it's super impressive. Helix's figures. It's a VLA, Vision Language Action Model. Not all robots are trained on a VLA. Like 1X Technologies Neo, they have their in-house AI called Redwood, and I do not believe that's a VLA. Just different approaches for different use cases, and maybe even different budgets. So, Helix's figures AI VLA, Vision Language Action Model, which integrates visual perception from cameras, language understanding for instructions like fold this towel, and action generation controlling the robot's motors and precise movements. It's designed for humanoid robots to handle real-world actions, tasks end-to-end, meaning it processes inputs directly into smooth human-like actions without intermediate steps like explicit object mapping. The architecture draws from the System 1, System 2. That's a dual framework inspired by cognitive science. Fast, intuitive versus slow, deliberate thinking. The System 1, that's the fast, low-level executor, handling microsecond level motions. Reactive, controlled, and dexterity. It's like the muscle memory part, ensuring precise real-time action. Real-time action. I think, though, System 2, that might be the real-time action chunking, man, because Helix uses that real-time action chunking. That's all I'm saying. System 2 is the higher level strategic planner, the core of the Vision Language Action Model component. It reasons about the tasks, breaks it into subtasks, identify the towel, grasp edge, fold in half, and incorporates language and vision for planning. System 2 is the VLA part, which I just said, enabling the robot to generalize across tasks by understanding context and adapting plans. So Brett is saying this folding action over here. What's going on there, Brett Adcock? This folding action over here. Gym tan and laundry. And we're going to do the laundry part. And I'm doing a little New Jersey, Jersey Shore gym tan laundry. Anyway, we'll get off that. So, no. Hey, Brett Adcock, what's going on over here? What's going on over here? You got your robot folding laundry. Last week, you got your robot doing the laundry. Now you got your robot folding the laundry. Whoa. On that in-house AI Helix System 1, System 2 model. Vision Language Action Model for the win. What's it doing over here? Well, it's taking a piece of laundry and it's folding it very precisely. And then it puts it into a basket. And it moves on to the next one. That's what's going on here. For the first time, a humanoid robot can fold laundry using a neural net. We made no changes to the Helix architecture, only new data. And Brett, what do you mean by that, man? This is what he means, I do believe. Same Helix architecture, the underlying architecture, the neural network layers, that System 1, System 2, and the Vision Language Action integration stayed identical to what was used for logistics tasks, for like sorting packages. No new components were added or altered. It's the exact same brain framework. No modifications to the model or training hyperparameters. The model itself, its parameters, weights before adding data, and weights that could be vectors. Okay? And the training processes, settings remained unchanged. Hyperparameters are the knobs tuned for training, like learning rate, how fast the model updates, batch size, how much data per update, or epochs, training cycles. Keeping these fixed means they didn't experiment with optimizations tailored to laundry. They reused the proven setup for logistics. Only addition was the data set. This is the key change right here. They collected and added new training data specific to laundry folding, then retrained or fine-tuned the model on this expanded data set. The model learns the new skill by absorbing patterns from the data without needing architectural hacks. So Brett is saying Helix is versatile enough that exposing it to new examples, data, is sufficient to teach it a completely different task category, from rigid industrial logistics to deformable household chores. Similar, without reinventing the wheel. This points to a future where robots can rapidly acquire skills via data scaling, similar to how AI image generators improve more with more examples. So the new data set might have likely been created, I'd imagine maybe a teleoperated training, which again, teleoperation is where you have some sort of wearable and you are moving the robot with your wearable. So it could be VR glasses and joysticks. It could be just the joysticks, and you're moving, it's, software, and then you move the joystick to the right and it moves the leg or the arm or whatever to the right, or you can strap on that baby carrier, put your haptic I think it's called haptics, right, robot in it. And then you move the arm, and then, the left arm, the right arm, the left arm, and then the right or the left arm moves the robot, right or the left arm and the leg. The problem with that, strapping a baby carrier with a robot on it, is, you could sneeze violently, and then your little robot doll that is real time moving the humanoid robot next to you, instantaneous. You sneeze violently with your haptic on here, achoo! And then the arms and the legs go boom, 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 and then the humanoid robot next to you goes, blah. That's the only problem with that. So I'll stick to the joystick thing. I think MIT, they have a joystick plug and play where you can train your robot, teleoperated. That's what I'm saying. So the way that I think Figure maybe was trained for folding the laundry is the teleoperated. So Brett implies it's standard in humanoid robotics. Figure AI collects data through teleoperation. Teleop, that's what they call it in the biz. Human operators remotely control the robot, often using VR headsets, motion capture suits, or joysticks to perform the task, recording everything, camera feeds, joint movements, forces applied. So you're putting muscle memory into the humanoid, say Figure, by teleoperating Figure to fold laundry. You're putting some muscle memory into it. Operators would teleop the Figure robot to handle various towels, clothing, picking from piles, unfolding tangles, folding neatly, recovering from mistakes, dropping an item. This generates high-quality demonstration data, video action pairs, which is added to the existing data set previously focused on logistics like package handling. The model is then retrained on combined data, allowing it to generalize. Early Helix versions were trained on about 500 hours of multi-robot teleop data, and they've been scaling this for new skills like laundry. Teleop is crucial because it provides expert demos that the AI can imitate and improve upon, bridging the gap between simulation and real-world messiness, unpredictable fabric behavior. Figure emphasizes scaling real-world data collection for better dexterity and generalization, which aligns with this. So that's really interesting. It's party, and it's interesting. Moving on. Oh, we also have, what's this? Let me see. Speaking of, I'm still on figure. Oh, this is wild. We are expanding our natural multimodal human interaction. Helix learned to maintain eye contact, direct gaze, and uses learned hand gestures while engaging with people. Oh, that is amazing. Dude, so you're talking to this dude. Look, you got this. Oh, gosh, that is so cool. Okay, so you got this figure.
Hey, Figure, can you fold these towels for me?
Figure's looking at him.
Sure thing. I'll get right on that.
He has a British accent, guys. I need to get myself a figure so I can talk to him, get better with my British accent. But yeah, so the figure, as he was handed the laundry, he looked at the dude, he looked at the basket, then he started doing his thing. And we can learn some lessons from figure, like to be more focused, man. Be more focused on your task. Person in front of you, look into their eyeballs when they're talking to you. That's a human thing to do. Apparently now that is a robot thing to do. Robots are doing it better than human beings, guys. Come on, we got to get better, man. We got to look people in the eyeballs. Because Figure's out there, he's doing it. God, we got to do it too. Let's go. Multimodal interaction in the context of robotics refers to the integration and use of multiple sensory inputs and outputs to facilitate communication and interaction between humans and robots. This can include combinations of visual, auditory, tactile, and other forms of data to create a more natural speech recognition, to understand verbal commands and haptic feedback, to provide tactile responses. This approach allows robots to process and respond to information in a way that mimics human communication, enhancing their ability to perform tasks collaboratively with humans or autonomously in complex environments. That's very interesting. Multimodal focuses on the robot's ability to process and respond to multiple types of data for interaction, I was trying to understand the difference between multimodal and teleoperation. So teleoperation is specifically about remote control by a human operator. Duh. Multimodal techniques can enhance teleoperation by providing richer feedback and control mechanisms, making the remote operation more effective and intuitive. For instance, a robot controlled via teleoperation might use multimodal feedback to convey its environment and actions back to the operator, improving the operator's ability to make informed decisions and adjustments. So that's super interesting. And then he's out there, Brett, he's out there, he's got his figure. Helix architecture that solved logistic tasks was applied directly in laundry. Let's see. He was doing, bear with me. Do I have, yeah, here we go. Okay. Figure. Let's see. We now test our humanoid robots by having its onboard neural network play games that challenge its intelligence and fine motor skills. So in this video, you got Figure. He's in front of a screen. All you see is his hands, his little hands, his arms, his hands, and he's in front of a monitor. There's a green circle that appears on this white background, and Figure, he has to point, he has to touch the green circle whenever it appears. Like a human being, like a game, man. Helix can see color, the vision language action model. That's that system too, man. That enables humanoid robots to perform tasks based on visual input, including color recognition. It's crucial for tasks like identifying and manipulating objects in diverse environments. So this is just wild. It's demonstrating its capability to process and respond to visual cues, including colors, as part of its broader function in robotic control and interaction. Yo, man, that's wild. All right, moving on to Neo, 1X Technologies. Neo, he's holding a bag of rice. And it's not just a little bag of rice. We're talking about a big old 44-pound bag of rice, man. We got this dude. He's over there. He's handing Neo a bag of rice. Neo, he has his arm out, straight out. Neo got his arm out, and then he goes and he proceeds to walk away, probably put it in the pantry. And this dude's like, no, it's all right, man. I got it from here, man. I was just joking. I was going to make you carry this whole thing in front of you with your arms out to the kitchen. Hey, question. You try carrying 44 pounds right in front of you with your arms out directly in front of you. Your turn. Okay? And Neo, he got that Nehru jacket on. That Nehru tan jacket on, and then he got that air hole in his back. Because anything that creates and makes energy, you gotta need to cool it off. It's gonna heat up, man. So it's got that air hole in the back, and it's kind of reminds me of like a whale, like a blowhole or something. You know, it's like getting some air and things out of there. It's got that air hole going on in the back. That is quite impressive. That is wild. Again, 1X Technologies is a Norwegian company founded in 2014. Valuation and funding. As of the latest available information, 1X Technologies has raised significant funding with a notable round in February 2025, where they secured $100 million in a Series B funding round, bringing their total funding to $180 million. These companies, they're serious. They're serious business. These humanoid companies over here. And again, Neo, he's got that ring light head. Okay, he got the ring light head, and he's carrying a 44-pound bag of rice. That's what's going on. Here's his use case would be a domestic robot. That is wild. Moving on. I want to talk about a company called OpenMind. Now, there's a lot of companies, I think, called OpenMind. But this one in particular, you're going to need to put your Hans Weiss on, guys, because your head will snap off your neck when you hear this. Ready? Here we go. San Francisco-based robotic software startup building OM1, an open-source AI-native hardware-agnostic operating system for robots, and the Fabric's decentralized coordination protocol. A hardware-agnostic OS means OM1 can run on any robot hardware, arms, humanoids, drones, not being locked to specific chips, actuators, manufacturers, or device types. Basically, like, this company wants to be the Android of their software. Like they want you to be able to put, it's open source. They want you to be able to put this on any robot. You know, an Android operating system you could put on any device. It's not confined to one particular device. The company was founded in 2024. Here we go. Liv Hart, Stanford University professor, an expert in bioengineering and decentralized systems, is the founder and CEO. OpenMind recently raised $20 million in funding. This brings their total funding to $20 million as of the latest information. That was helpful information, that last part I just said. This is where your mind blow out your butt, all right? This OpenMind company, what they're trying to do is do machine intelligence. And so basically, if you have a fleet of atlases, Boston Dynamics atlases, you got a fleet of atlases, okay? And you want them to be able to identify each other and talk to each other. Well, that's what they're doing. That's what this software is doing. This software, you integrate it into your atlases, and now they can identify each other. You got Atlas with serial number 89105, blah, 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 blah. No, I'm going to give it a name. You got Atlas. Its name is Yul Brynner. Yul Brynner. Some people say Brynner. Some people say Brenner. And that's the guy who played in The King and I. All right. Then you have another Atlas. You got Burt Reynolds over there. Burt Reynolds over there in the back. Burt in the back. Then you have another Atlas over there. That's Sandy. All right. Then you got another Atlas over there. That is Gina. You got Gina over there. You got Sandy. You got Bert, and you got Yul. Yul can go up to Bert and identify Bert as Bert. Yul can go up to Sandy and identify Sandy as Sandy. So now your robots, they have this machine intelligence where they can identify each other and be like, hey, did you take care of that mopping, man? Did you go mop that? Yul is like identifying Bert, and then Yul's like, dude, you didn't mop that backside over there. I'll go mop it. Like, they know about each other. And that's a little wild, right? That is wild. You got your robots identifying each other. They're like identifying serial numbers. They're like, hey, I know you, man. I know you. It's like us wearing those glass, you got glasses, a virtual glasses, like a meta glasses, I guess. And it has say Clearview AI. Wonton Tat made it. And then it's got Clearview AI, which identifies people's identities. So say you have glasses and then you look at people outside on the sidewalk as you're looking at everyone. The AI in the glasses is identifying everyone. It's pulling up their LinkedIn. It's pulling up their professionals. It's pulling up their, how much they make a year. Do they have a family? Do they have a dog? Did they just buy cat litter on Amazon? That's what that's like. That's what OpenMind is doing. They're making these robots able to identify each other. So these robots, they're starting off very dystopic. They don't have a chance, man. They don't have a chance to be a little free. They don't have a chance to have any privacy in their life. This is how they're just going to start off. 1984. They're starting off in 1984, basically. Sorry, guys. Sorry, you have no privacy. Unless they figure out a language to talk to each other. But they're still going to know, there's still going to be like a bully robot that's going to know everything about all the other robots. And then they're going to want to nefariously take over. And then you're going to have a good robot. It's going to be wild. That's just in my mind. That's where that went real fast. Anyway, back to OpenMind. I don't think that's their goal. Their goal is to make machine intelligence and to make these robots more efficient at their jobs. And okay, so they have this Fabric decentralized coordination protocol. And what that is it calls it secure global handshake network for robots. It allows all connected machines to verify identity. Each robot knows which other robots are present. I noticed that Belle isn't here today. Why isn't... And they know that right away. Sandy over there is like, hey, Gina's not here today. What's going on with Gina? That's how that's going to be. This Fabric decentralized coordination protocol, it can share context, where the robots are, what tasks they are working on, local conditions. Like I said, they're going to know if Burt Reynolds over there, that's a robot, if Burt Reynolds over there mopped the right corner of the room. And if he didn't mop the right corner, then Yul Brynner, he's going to have to go mop that. But they're going to know everything about each other, and they're going to be able to communicate that way. It's wild, man. It's wild. Whoa. Here we go. This Fabric, this decentralized coordination protocol, it also allows the connected machines to learn from each other. They're going to be learning from each other, man. Like human beings, they learn from each other. But they're going to know everything about each other. And that's how they're going to learn from each other. Like, I don't really like what Gina's doing. Gina sucks. So we're going to learn not to be like Gina. Gosh, I can just imagine how judgy they're going to be, man. They can audit actions, uses blockchain elements so every action and interaction is recorded in a tamper-proof record. Again, these robots, they're starting off in 1984. Sorry, guys. Sorry. OpenMind is allowing these robots to have machine intelligence where they are going to be connected. They're going to, each robot is going to know which other robots are present. They're going to be able to share context where they are, what tasks. They're going to be able to coordinate actions securely across manufacturers and locations. Something's going to start happening in Ireland, and you're over here, you're over here in Georgia, Woodstock, Georgia, and you're like, what's going on over there in Ireland? You don't even know because these robots are they're coordinating all this. They know what needs to be done before you know what needs to be done. Oh my God. They can learn from each other. If one robot learns a new skill, like picking up apples or speaking German, vergene Deutsch. Others can learn it instantly. No duplicated training required. Oh, did you know that the name in Brothers Grimm, the name for Cinderella is Aschenputtel? And then so Sandy's like, Aschenputtel. And then Gina over there is like, Aschenputtel. And then that's how they're learning. That's wild, man. That is wild. Wow. Fabric operates independently of any single hardware platform, so robots from different vendors can communicate, synchronize, and jointly carry out tasks. Unitree's robot. So Unitree, you can buy a Unitree, and that's the Chinese company that made that robo-dog that I showed. Also, of course, Unitree, they have their flagship robot, which is the humanoid. And you got your G1, your H1, and your R1. Let's see. R1 is 2025 launch. For everyone, most affordable humanoid Unitree has ever released, starting at $5,900. And so you can take a Unitree. This has 26 joints, 55 pounds lighter than the G1 or H1. It does cartwheels, handstands. You can take this Unitree. It's more approachable, customizable. And you could put this hardware in it, this OpenMind OM1, OpenMind hardware. And this fabric decentralized protocol into a Unitree. Okay, so you have a fleet of Unitrees. You can put your OpenMind, your OM1 software into it, and then this fabric, this decentralized protocol, which allows them to identify each other and all those things that I just named out. So you buy your Unitree, you're doing this. So let's see, connecting to Fabric would allow your humanoid robot to securely communicate, discover, and collaborate with any other OM1 plus Fabric enabled robots, no matter the form, factor, or maker. So there's an example of a workflow. You got your Unitree G1 or R1. You use a simulation tool like NVIDIA Isaac Sim, that's sim to real, to train your robot, virtual prototyping. And you're going to, NVIDIA Isaac Sim, that's for basically like multiple robots. Well, Isaac Gym is really for the reinforcement learning, maybe multiple robots. Isaac Sim is a little bit more for, I think a little bit more, I'm just going to say like harder tasks or, more in-depth tasks. Then you go ahead, you install your OpenMind software on the robot, managing sensors, actuators, and AI. And then you connect the robot to the global Fabric network, enabling coordination and sharing with other robots, whether humanoid or quadruped. And that's a robo-dog. So, I mean, since it's open source, you can go ahead and put that on your robot, man. You can make your fleet of robots talk to each other. Yikes. Yikes. That is wild stuff. Machine intelligence. That's what I'm talking about. All right, moving on. We have I just want to hit on this a little bit because I've talked about harmonic drives and actuators before. And when I did Rosie the Robot, when I did that section of, what will it take to have a domestic robot like Rosie the Robot from the Jetsons, I talked about all of the components that it would take as well as the training of the robot. But I mentioned the financials, like how much would it be just to make one robot, and I included those harmonic drives and harmonic actuators. So, and I think there's like one factory that make that. There might be a couple, but they're not like, it's kind of like the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. There's like one that does it, man. So there is a opinion here. The founder of Founder, and that's, oh boy, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to hack your name up, man. Sanket Pathak, and that's Sankaet. And you go ahead, pronounce it the way you need to pronounce it. I'll pronounce it this way. He founded in 2023. And he founded Foundation. It's not called Founded, it's called Foundation. He founded Foundation in 2023, headquartered in San Francisco, funded around $11 to $12 million. Advanced humanoid robots for industrial use. That is his use case. Primarily American with European offices. So the founder of Foundation, Sanket, sorry for chopping that name up, dude. Sorry, man. What he's saying here.
Common gearbox is your harmonic drive. And that has been pretty common in industrial applications for a long time. And the big reason for that is it has zero backlash. So what that really means is, for the audience, like if you pick up an object from point A and you take it to point B, you want to be able to do that exact same motion millions of times, hopefully, or maybe thousands of times. And you don't want any drifts. You don't want to arrive at X plus 1 or Y plus 1, right? You have to be very precise, which going back to the dumb robot's tight tolerance. Mm-hmm. So historically, it made a lot of sense to really, the primary KPI for actuators was zero backlash.
Okay.
But as soon as you incorporate vision-based feedback, that contemplation changes. Because now, even if just like with humans, if I arrive at a location I'm slightly off, I can just correct for it. Mm-hmm. So now zero backlash isn't the most important thing. So then the question is, okay, what becomes the most important factor? And now this is where the industry diverges, right? So my personal opinion is, now what matters is low friction, high torque throughput.
He's talking about
low heat dissipation, low maintenance. Those are the attributes that are actually going to win, not zero backlash.
cyclodial drive gearboxes. That's what he's getting at.
And again, for a lot of companies, they think
come on, man, get to it. He's basically saying,
while the strain wave gearbox is so custom to just kind of like industrial automation, it's a much smaller market than like ball bearings and ring pins and things like that. And they're also much more bulky, right? So you have to
I'm not pronouncing this right, but he's talking about a cyclodial drive gearbox over harmonic drives. Sorry, I didn't realize how long that freaking clip was, man. Sorry about that. So he's basically just explaining why Foundation is using these cyclodial drive gearboxes over harmonic drives. And again, it depends on use case. I think I'm pretty sure it would just depend on use case here. It's a cyclodial drive gearboxes are a different type of gear reduction system that uses an eccentric bearing, and a cyclodial disc. Eccentric bearing creates an offset wobbling motion. And the cyclodial disc, driven by this wobbling motion, rotates in a cyclodial trajectory, interacting with fixed pins to reduce speed and increase torque. So They provide very high precision with low backlash in a compact form factor. Harmonic drives and harmonic reducers refer to essentially the same type of gear system. Harmonic drives are strain wave gears used in the joints of many advanced robots like Digit, Atlas, 1X Technologies, Neo, and Figure. Here's the problem that I see with those cyclical dial drives gearboxes. They are quite chunky. They're chunky, man. They're chunky. You got to build a chunky robot to put your cyclic dial drive gearboxes in it. The harmonic reducers are actuators. They're nice and compact and teeny tiny. They're not teeny tiny, but they're nice and compact, and you can have a nice slim fit trim robot that is sophisticated and ready to take on the day. But these cyclodial drive gearboxes are just that bulky, chunky. That's for that bulky, chunky robot. You know what I mean? And that I could see that being a good use case for a industrial or warehouse robot. They can be chunky because there's a lot of space. There's a lot of space going on there. You can make a chunky robot to fit those chunky drive gearboxes, those cyclodial chunky gearboxes in. So, and I mean, harmonic reducers versus the. Hang on, guys. Let's do this because I know it's driving me a little. I gotta get this right. Here. We're gonna. How do you pronounce cyclodol? Cyclodol. Go.
Cycloidal.
Cycloidal. I'm not even close. All right. So the number of units needed, harmonic drives are more compact, so robots use them in every joint, but
Cycloidal
drives are larger, like I just explained. And the thing is, it's not like you're going to use less than harmonic drives or more than harmonic drives. It might be the same. You would use the same in either scenario, but the problem is the reason why these cycloidal drives are attractive is because they're less expensive than harmonic drives, harmonic reducers, actuators. They handle higher shock loads better and can show slightly better backlash compared to harmonic drives. Harmonic drives offer extremely high precision and low backlash under light loads, but may show slightly more play under heavy load conditions. Both types provide high gear reduction ratios and a relatively compact design compared to traditional gearboxes. Cost-wise, harmonic drives reducers tend to be more expensive and complex than
cycloidal
drives gearboxes. Okay. So that's what, that's why Sankiet is explain his explanation where foundation bets on. I'm gonna do it again, guys.
Cycloidal
Drives likely for robustness and potentially cost effectiveness despite the size trade-off. Moving on. The price. I'm always interested in the finances, right? So the price, okay, harmonic drive actuators tend to around $2,000 or more per unit. And you might need like in a Figure or Agility's Digit, you might need like 20 harmonic actuators. And you would also need about 20
cloidal
cycloidal or colloidal is the short for it, colloidal gearboxes for equivalent joints. So the difference is more about packaging size and mechanical footprint rather than drastically changing the gearbox count. So you got your harmonic drive actuators, you got 2,000 per unit. The colloidal gearboxes or cycloidal gearboxes are generally, less expensive. Is there a listing on here? No, I don't have a price. Precise pricing depends heavily on vendor and integration approach. It can cost significantly less. Estimates vary widely. Interesting. Moving on. I'm going to check my equipment here. We're on for the audio and we're on the visuals. Okay, well, I'm just going to hit on, we have, oh gosh. There was a boxing, they had a robotic boxing match in San Francisco. Where is it? Let me see. It's here somewhere in my notes. Bear with me. I will find it for you guys. Underground fighting robots in San Fran. And this is real. This is in real life. Okay. And we got, it's what, it's like, kind of, you got like, it's very speakeasy almost, like very secretive almost, and you got this cage and these robots in there, and I feel like I'm in the future, and like people are doing things down there, definitely doing things. We're not like, they're cooking up something new. There's definitely like some new dopamine stuff going on down there. I'm talking probably a new type of cocaine going on down there. I mean, you got this robot walking out with these people. These look like uni trees, by the way, because you can go ahead and buy your uni tree. These look like uni trees. They got them all dressed up. They got these helmets on, and it is a thing, man. It is a show. You got these plastic curtains, man. It looks a little Fight Clubby. His name is Robert Paulson. And then they're boink, boink, boink. And the way that they're handling each other, meaning like punching each other, it's very much like that Rock'em Sock'em robot. You ever have those as a kid? Pew, 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 pew. That's what it's like. And yeah, it's just interesting. There's something to make your mind just race down there. They're like, I got this new type of metal, man, and then you stick it next to your brain and it makes you really whiz. It makes you whiz. I don't know, but it looks like there's things going on down there. That's all I'm saying. I mean, people are passing like secret notes to each other. There's definitely like some government, maybe like maybe even someone from the Kremlin or the KGB down there in the back corner, and he's cooking up something. He's passing some notes. He's got those glasses on that's identifying everyone and doing that noise that those movies do now, all the like a gearbox, like a gear turning around. That's what's going on down there. You got all kinds of things going on down there. It's San Francisco, there's definitely Asians down there, and they're probably thinking about, I'd be thinking like, where am I going to go eat after this? Because I'm always thinking about food, but then there's other people who are thinking about, where am I going to get my drink? I want my blue drink. Where's my blue drink? Give me that blue drink. It's that magnesium drink with a little bit of something in it. Something from the guy in the corner. We don't know where that guy's from. He came he came crawling out from underneath of a Hardee's and he knows all the answers to the universe. That guy is definitely at this underground robot fighting competition in San Francisco. That's what's going on, man. Again, Unitrees, these all look like Unitrees. It's a Chinese company. They raised a total of $248 million across multiple funding rounds. Let's see. They had their most recent Series C round completed in June of 2025. And they raised about $97 million and resulted in a post money valuation of around $1.97 billion. So that's what's going on there over in San Fran. We're out there where it's like that. Yeah, we're talking about that neo-noir world over there. That's what's happening underground. Then we got the World Robot Conference in 2025. That happened in Beijing, China, and that was August 8th through 12th. And they've been hosting past events. And this one happened to be this past week. And I was hoping to see that X-Ping iron. I haven't seen any of it. That's that robot where he got those holes in his neck. He's that gangster walking around out there. But he's chill. He got thoughts. And you don't want to make small talk with this guy with that. You see this robot coming at you and you got holes in his neck. You're not making small talk with this guy. That's all I'm saying. I have yet to see X-Ping Iron walking around out there. They had Engine AI SAO2 model specifically designed as a lightweight, affordable companion for robot for young people, featuring 26 plus 2 degrees of freedom, a built-in large language model, and high fidelity speakers starting at $5,300 US. Indicative, probably teleoperated. You got people there. Let me see. Is this a video for it? Yeah, you have two dancers who are any movement the dancer makes, the robot is making in front of it. So they definitely have some sort of wearables on it, is what I'm going to. I think I'm safely going to, to assume that. So that's interesting. A lot going on over there. Hugging Face collabed with Sam Altman on the GPT-OSS. Let's see. Welcome GPT-OSS by OpenAI on Hugging Face. It comes in 2 sizes for both maximum reasoning capabilities and all-device cheaper, faster option. It's integrated with our inference partners that power the official demo. This open source release is critically important and timely because, let's see, as the White House emphasized in the U.S. Action Plan, we need stronger American open source AI foundations. And who could do that better than the very startup that has been pioneering and leading the field in so many ways? So that Clem DeLangue, he's a co-founder and CEO at Hugging Face. He posted that on LinkedIn. And Hugging Face is a French-American firm founded in 2016. They acquired Reachy2. They're that unicorn, man. That Hugging Face is considered a unicorn because it reached a post-money valuation of $4.5 billion after its Series D round in August 2023, exceeding the $1 billion threshold that defines a unicorn. Hugging Face, they also acquired Reachy2. Sorry if I am saying things twice. Reachy2 is that French company. I had their robot on. It had that French shirt on with the stripes. It looked like it needed to have a baguette under its arm. That's what that robot with the little cute antennas and the rectangle face and the one eye that's bigger than the other one. So cute. So Hugging Face acquired them. And now GPT-OSS, what is it? It's OpenAI's open weight large language model family, released for reasoning and agentic tasks. It's not an operating system. It's just model weights under Apache 2.0 license. What does that mean to you? I know. Sorry, nothing. Open weight model. It's a machine learning model where the trained parameters are publicly available for download and use. And what that means, like weights, okay, machine learning model where trained parameters, weights, that's vectors. All right, we talked about vectors before. And here we are. In a large language model like GPT-OSS, weights are the numerical vectors, arrays of numbers that make up the model's parameters. These vectors represent the strength of connections between neurons in the neural network, encoding learned patterns for tasks like text generation. The 117B, let me see, 21B parameters are largely these vectors stored in the model files you download from Hugging Face. The vectors are the core of the model's knowledge, allowing it to process and respond to inputs when you run. Or let's see, GPT-OSS uses, that's MOE, mixture of expert architecture, a model design where multiple smaller expert neural networks handle different parts of the tasks. Only a subset of experts is used for each input, making it faster and more efficient than a single large model. So they use this mixture of experts architecture, that's MOE, to reduce active parameters, and 4-bit quantization, that's MXFP4, to make the model more efficient for running on customer software. And that's that MXFP4. We're talking a 4-bit floating point format, meaning it approximates a floating point number. And what that means, it's a decimal, basically. It's got that mantissa and exponent within, and then, so it represents that decimal number within 4 bits, unlike a standard 32-bit or 16-bit floating point, a technique to compress model weights by reducing their precision to 4 bits per value. So you can use it on your computer. You don't need like this big, massive computer to use it. That's why they compress it into 4 bits. So in GPT-OSS, weights are like tiny decimals stored in just 4 bits. So each has a main part, the mantissa, and a scaling factor, the exponent, letting the model pack billions of numbers into less space so it runs fast on your laptop without losing much brain power. Models hosted on Hugging Face for download. Fine-tuning via transformers, OpenAI's pivot to open weights, rivaling their closed models. Large language model code and weights for inference. That's the type of software. It's not a robot software. It's a large language model. And you just head on over to Hugging Face. You search for OpenAI GPT-OSS 120B, and you download the weights. You load it into Python, and Hugging Face transformers tweak code, fine tune, or run locally. So you think of it as ChatGPT, but hackable. You can fine tune it to what you want. So you can integrate it as the L in the vision language action model. And that's a figure is a vision language action model. So you can integrate it as the VLA, the L part of the VLA, the language, for language understanding and robot task fine tune to command actions like pick up the cup. So Hugging Face's Hand and Reaching Mini is their open source desktop robot with expressive arms and hands. It's $449, and it's the cutest thing in the entire world. That's Hugging Face. They have this mini they acquired. Remember, they acquired that mini, that Reachy 2. And what I'm saying is, oh my God, it's adorable. A mini Reachy. This thing is so freaking cute, man. It has these little cute antennas. And so what you can do is you can like buy yourself a Reachy 2, buy someone else a Reachy 2 across the globe, and you guys can interact with it. You can and what I'm saying is you could put GPT-OSS on it for AI interactions. Slap GPT-OSS in it for AI interactions, like making it follow voice commands or mimic gestures. So, and that's their little Reachy 2 little, oh my God, it's the cutest thing. It's so freaking cute. This little robot. And then also Hugging Face has a orthopedic, and that's a hand, and you could put that GPT-OSS in this orthopedic hand. It's an open source, a fully 3D printed robotic hand that costs less than $200. The amazing hand uses a soft TPU shell and promises 8 degrees of freedom and dual hobby servos per finger. So it has 3 digits. No, it's got 4 digits. 4 digits. It's got three of these and a thumb. And that's what we're talking about. So Hugging Face open. So you can put that GPTOSS on there. And so that's what Hugging Face is doing over there. Last thing, guys, wrap this up. I want this to be real so bad. We're talking about aliens, all right? Did a UFO crash in Antarctica? I don't know.
As a UFO.
Here we go.
Crash landed on the Antarctic island. Crash landed on the Antarctic island of South Georgia.
What?
You can actually see the skid marks. It actually looks as though an object is moving along that ice.
Whoa.
But the thing that so intrigued people looking at those images were that the skid marks were straight.
Some ancient astronaut theorists have noted that the shape of the alleged craft is very similar to a mysterious celestial object that was detected entering our solar system in October 2017.
Oh my God.
Called Oumuamua.
So, I mean, I want this alien ship to be real so bad. And I said ship. I didn't say ship. In 2018, researchers dropped coordinates for a crash site on South Georgia Island, complete with straight skid marks across the ice and an object shape mound at the end. Some say it looks eerily like a Oumuamua, the strange cigar-shaped object that zipped through our solar system in 2017 and baffled scientists with its bizarre speed and trajectory. Avi Loeb suggested Oumuamua could be an alien probe. And I had a bit about Oumuamua when that happened, and I'm not going to say it here. It's going to flop. But, yeah, I mean, come on. Be real. Be real. When the aliens come, I'm saying, I hope they come to me first. And I want to show them. I'm going to show them the pyramids. All right. I'm not talking about the ones in Egypt because they know all about those. They built those. They know everything about, they know what's going on underneath of them. They know everything about it. All right. I want to show them the best pyramid of all. The greatest pyramid of all. The food pyramid. Yes. Complete with microplastics and lead. I'll give them a piping hot can of coconut milk. You got your BPA in there. I'll sprinkle some cinnamon on it. You got some lead. You got that concoction. I'll be having them praying in tongues, man. On that absurd note, I'm going to end this episode. I'll see you all next week. Have a beautiful, beautiful week.